Hello students, in this video series I will be teaching the module tariff. So this is the first lecture series of the module tariff. Now before starting what is tariff, let's have a overview why we are going to learn tariff. Now if we recapitulate the basic power system structure, we will have the generation, then comes the transmission, and finally the distribution. Here generation is the conversion of different forms of energy into electrical energy. That electrical energy is being transmitted through either overhead line or underground cable, and finally the power is being distributed to different types of consumers. These consumers can be industrial consumers as well as domestic consumer. Now this whole process from generation of electric power to the distribution of this generated and transmitted electric power to the consumer end, this whole process involves monetary transaction. Like for generation we need capital investment, we need capital investment. Capital investment means, what do you mean by capital investment? Capital investment means the cost that is used for the setup of a power plant as well as different types of other things that are associated with the power plants. So this whole thing comes under the capital investment. Next is the, for the transmission also there involves some capital investment. What is that capital investment of transmission? Like this, what is the capital investment? This capital investment in case of transmission system involves the cost of the transmission conductors as well as the cost of the underground cables and other things like towers, installation of towers, our insulators, switch gears and other substations. All those things are included in the capital investment of the transmission. In case of distribution also same type of capital investment is there, right? So apart from this capital investment, which is the fixed cost, we have another type of cost or monetary transaction involved. What is that? That is the running cost. This running cost is associated with all the three steps. Like for the generation also we have the running cost. Like when the power plant runs, we need to purchase the fuel. It can be coal, it can be nuclear component, other things. Also the power plant when runs, it involves different types of different categories of the payment for the person involved, means for the payment of the different employees that are, those are associated with the power plant, so that payment comes under running cost. In case of same thing is for transmission also, means for maintenance also we have to frequently check, that also involves some running cost. Like for maintenance the insulators needs to be changed, the conductors needs to be maintained, so all those are running costs which are periodic in nature. Similarly the same thing involves for the distribution system also. So the overall transaction or monetary transaction that are involved in this whole power system are, first is capital investment as well as the running cost. Now who is going to bear this cost, either capital or the running cost? Obviously the consumers. So the system has to be made in such a way that the investments that are associated, fixed as well as running, both the investment amount can be returned back as well as some profit can be done, right? Means if you just compensate for this cost, so what are these things that are necessary for getting the money? One is the cost plus some amount of profit. So the supplies company who are supplying the power, they should keep in mind that while supplying the power, they should meet the costs that are involved as well as they should have a marginal amount of profit. That profit is necessary for the future. Like if you want to expand the power plant or if you want to expand the system, then the money can be taken from that profit amount, right? So this too has to be met. Now comes the tariff. Tariff is the rate at which the electrical energy is being supplied to the consumer. Consumer means I have told you at the very beginning, it can be domestic consumer as well as it can be industrial consumer. So the rate at which the electrical energy is supplied to the consumer so as to meet both this cost, it is known as tariff. Rate at which electrical energy is supplied to consumers. This is my tariff. So in this lecture series 1 comes to an end with the general discussion of what is tariff, how the tariff comes, what is the need of this tariff. In the next lecture series, I will be dealing with or I will be discussing the objective of tariff, the different characteristics of tariff, as well as the different types of tariff that are used. Thank you, students. See you in the next series.